Hello everyone, Go Natural Body Care here. I am going to make a quick video on how I do swirls. So what I have here is 2 pounds of oatmeal base, melt and pour soap, and I'm going to pour it into my loaf mold here. And I'm going to pause on and off so I can make this as quick as possible. So I'm going to pause. Alright, so I just poured it in. I'm going to take my alcohol and spray that. And right now the temperature is at 133 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to let that set a little bit. This one is going to be scented in peppermint and tea tree. Alright, so I'm going to check the temperature again a few moments later. It's at 127. So I'm going to mix this with some clear melt and pour. And I'm going to turn it green. So you can see I have my green mica. And it's from Brambleberries, the Kelly Green. And I'm going to make that the middle layer. I'm going to swirl it just a little bit, but mostly just the green. And then I'm going to layer back the oatmeal base on top in white and swirl the top and kind of texture the top a little bit. So we're going to pause. All right, so we're back. And I've melted down the clear base and added the Kelly Green mica to it. And right now, it's going to be at 156 degrees. That was moving on me. 155 degrees Fahrenheit. So we really need this to cool down. All right, so we'll give it a few moments and we'll keep checking the temperature to make sure that it cools down. Some of my previous soaps, I intentionally poured hot so that I can kind of get it to pull down like this one below. It pulled at the bottom with all the different colors. That's when you pour too hot. So we don't want to do that for this one. So we'll come back in a few moments when it reaches temperature. I'm looking for a temperature around, with this particular soap, it's going to be around 130. Other soaps, it gets down to like 120, but we'll see. Okay, we're back. So I just checked the temperature. We'll check it one more time. It's right at about 122, so I'm going to go ahead and pour. While we were waiting, I started playing with what I poured using my gloved hand. I kind of, moved around the layer that had been forming already just to kind of give it some texture. I tend to just always change the plan as I'm going along. So we'll see what this looks like when it's cut. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my alcohol and spray. And I'm going to pour a little bit on. Oops. It looks like more than a little bit, doesn't it? I'm going to take my trusty little skewer here. And I'm going to kind of like poke and move it around. To kind of create the swirl. And I want just a little bit of a swirl right here. Okay, you kind of see it? I know I'm holding the camera kind of crazy when I'm trying to do this. Not used to holding a camera. All right. And so I'm going to spray and I'm going to allow this to set a little bit. And then I'm going to pour the majority of the rest of the green on. And then the next layer of white and swirl that a little bit and then finish it off. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. So as you can see, I went ahead and poured the majority of the rest of the green in. So now we have the white base again, or the oatmeal base. And I had to reheat this a little bit because it's been setting. So let's check the temperature on here. Make sure I'm hitting the right thing. All right, so it's about 121. And the consistency is getting thick and kind of gloppy. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour a little bit on top of the green. I'll spritz it with alcohol. All right, and I'm going to get my trusty little skewer here again. Oh, that green is solid. So I'm going to kind of move it around a little bit, help it out. Gotta help it out a little bit because it's really kind of thick. And I don't want a deep swirl. I just kind of really want it on top. So I gotta kind of help stir it in. because it's really starting to set up on me. But I'm not worried. All right. So just a touch of a swirl. Where's my alcohol? So we're going to spray. And because it's already getting thick and gloppy, I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of this on the top. I'm going to pour it, 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 pour it. All right. I'm going to pause for a second so I can move this along.
Done.
All right. So these are setting up. So now I'm about to do the finale here. Green is seized up on me. We'll come back and finish that. Let me spray it really quickly. And I'm going to swirl, 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 swirl. All right. We're going to pause for a second so I can reheat the last bit of the grain. Pause.
Cool.
Be ready, don't do it yet.
Yes.
Again, I'm going to use my stick to manipulate it and to stir, and to stir, and to stir. And spray with the alcohol. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come back in a few minutes and I'm going to take my trusty little skewer here, and in order to texture the top, I'm going to kind of like poke at it and pick it up and scoop it up, and that way that's how I texture my top. So I'm going to end here.